Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Chris Housey, the boys basketball coach at Novi. How's it going?
I'm doing well, Casey. How are you?
I got to say, first off, congratulations on winning the KLAA West. It has been a while since the Wildcats were on top of the division, and which has been lately dominated by Canton and what Jimmy's been able to do the last few years. Um, but this is but as we all know, if you followed this league before, anything can and usually will happen, and
Yeah,
it did.
for sure. Yeah. No, thank you very much. It's just a testament to how hard our kids have worked. The our team has just really come together over the course of these few months. Our seniors, have been together since I don't know, probably fifth grade, sixth grade, something like that. And something we've been had a goal in mind when they started high school, and something that takes a lot of work, and it wasn't easy. There was adversity along the way for sure. But they battled through it, and they went through the gauntlet of the league. Like you said, anything can happen. So we survived a couple times. We played really well a couple times, and Monday night was just an all-out war. Credit to Northville too for being doing as well as they did this year, and for just an absolute kind of like a pretty much every Novi Northville basketball game has gone just a war and a battle down to the end. And credit to them, Coach Sean Turner had them playing hard, and they were ready for us, and we were ready for them. So it was a lot of fun to be a part of. That's for sure.
Did you, anytime that I believe did you correct me if I'm wrong? You beat Northville twice this year, if I'm not
We
mistaken.
did, yeah, yeah.
That has also not been done in a while.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Anytime, and I know anytime that Novi and Northville get together, I know that regardless of what sport you're in, hey, I got to call a I got to announce a Novi Northville hockey game last year. So
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
I got to, and obviously I've attended a lot of those rivalry games in the past, and the people that are from the same town. I mean, they were the same town back in the day,
yeah, right.
but what is it like to go up against a really really good Northville team? And I know they've had their ups and downs throughout the year as well. But
Yeah,
what was it like to come away with a couple of big wins against that against?
yeah. I mean, I think the first thing to say is it's certainly not easy, right? I mean, not just this year, but every year that I've been here and we've played them. I mean, we're always getting each other's best shot, right? Because, like you said, it is a rivalry. It does mean that much. And their kids have always, I mean, always been so well prepared, well coached, disciplined. Sometimes you look at their, especially, years past, not so much this year because they have some really good players on their team, but you look at their roster and you don't necessarily see the superstars, right? You don't see the studs, you don't see the college players. Some years they have them, but you don't see those guys, and yet dang near every year they're definitely near the top of the standings, and they're always a tough out. And that's a credit to the coaching staff and a credit to the kids for sure. I mean, like I said, they were super prepared for us. They do their homework, they're disciplined, they're structured, and if you're not on your game, you're going to be in for a long night, and it's a lot of trouble. So fortunately for us, a couple times this year we've been, we were on our game and we played well. I don't know if Monday night was our best showing in the second half, but we persevered, and we found a way to win at the end. Which, like I said, credit to our kids for doing that. But yeah, it's been a war every single game, and that's fun. I mean, that's a fun environment. Both times we played in this year, the gyms were packed, and that's not necessarily the case for all of our games against other schools. So it's a great environment for high school basketball. It's a great experience for our kids and for their kids to be a part of that. I'm no crowd estimator, but Monday night the gym was packed, and I venture to say there had to be at least 700 people in here just watching us play, and it was an awesome environment. It was an awesome atmosphere, and that's Novi Northville. That's what it is. So I'm proud of our kids, and credit to them for putting up the one of the best fights we've had all year for sure.
You've been here 7 years, and obviously you know that how tough this league is. Everybody's good. You got Canton, Northville, Brighton,
Yeah.
you guys, Howell. We've seen some good Heartland teams, and Heartland teams as well. You got Plymouth, you got Salem as well. Um, there's everyone in this league is good and everyone can
Yeah.
go get you, even though they may not be having the best year. So to come away with this, and also what does it mean for this team? And I'll let you talk about, your captains a little bit too, because there's this is kind of what you guys have all been preparing for years.
Yeah, when these guys, man, here, give me a little emotional here, but when these guys were freshmen, we knew that they were super talented. Um, but the thing that made them stand out is how together they were and how unselfish they played and how they didn't care about anything other than winning. And that was I wish that I could give I wish that I could take credit for it or give it to my coaching staff, but that's kind of the way they came in, which is super rare for any high school class, to come in, let alone ninth graders. They came in that way, and all we had to do was, coach them up and help them develop. And we certainly, as coaches, tried our best. And they're super coachable, and they listen and they work hard, and they're just phenomenal kids. They're all phenomenal kids to be around. Our seniors are their captains. Chase has been with us the longest. He's been up for 3 years. Aaron was right behind him his sophomore year, so Aaron's about 2.5, 2 3/4. um, and they've been here the longest. They're the rocks. They're the foundations. It's great to see how much they've developed both as players and as leaders over the past couple of years. And then as juniors, Brendan Lynch and Trey Tesserero, who are our captains, um, they joined him last year on the team, and that, I mean, it's so much fun to come to practice and you watch, Trey, who's kind of fiery, kind of the emotional guy, and then Brendan Lynch, who, if you didn't know him any better, you look like he would never say a word, but just as steady as a rock. And Michael Shave, really, he's not a captain, but he's definitely a leader. Mike really emerged this year, too, for us. And then Brendan Felcher, too, who doesn't necessarily get as much playing time as I'm sure he would like, or doesn't get the publicity as the other guys, but he works his butt off every day in practice, and he makes us better too. So they're just a phenomenal group, Casey, and uh, I can't say enough about these guys and how special they are to me and to our program.
It's yeah, whenever you guys get and talk about, your two seniors with Chase and Aaron. I mean, I've got to see them play a couple times, and those two, my goodness, they just they want to do one thing and they want to win.
Yeah, that's
Can you go into that? Because we talked about that a little bit before we started recording, the drive that those two have. To
yeah,
and it's everybody, but
for sure. No, and there's, I could probably pick a story or an example from each one of those six, and that kind of epitomizes our team. But I'll use, I just told you before we came on, when we make our teams, we call everybody in one by one, and let them know whether or not it made the team, talk to them like adults. And when Aaron came in this year, he he sat down with the three of us coaches, and Aaron's our returning leading scorer. He was all league last year. So not that he would ever be selfish, but if there's anybody who is trying would have the right to say, hey, I'll take the load on us, right? I'll do what I have. I'll score as many as I have to score to for us to be successful. He didn't do that. He looked the three of us coaches right in the eyes and said, Coach, I don't care if I score 2 or 20 or whatever. I just want to win. And that attitude permeated throughout the team. And Chase is the same way, man. I mean, Chase, there's been a couple times where, Chase is so competitive, and he is so, he wants it so bad that, the coaches and I once in a while have to kind of take him aside and say, hey, calm down. And his response to us every single one of those times is, Coach, I know, I just want to win. I just want to win. And that's the epitome of what we stand for. And that's, being unselfish, working hard, doing whatever it takes. And those two guys, again, they're just two examples of I could talk about all six of them, but there's just two examples of how they've embodied our culture and they've embodied what our program stands for. And I could not be more proud of all of them, but especially the two of them for how much they've grown as leaders over the past couple of years. Right? Sure, they developed as players and they got better, and they'd done, been able to do different things. But both of them, they started as sophomores. They're very quiet. They didn't say much. Toward the end of last year, Chase really started being more vocal, which was great, and then carried that out through the summer. And then I think Aaron too, through the summer and this year, as his confidence got up, he started to become more vocal too. And when you have a player led team, it's that's when special things can happen. And unfortunately for us, that's what happened this year. We did some special things, and we're looking forward to trying to do some more special things coming up here.
Absolutely. Okay, so now that you won the division, you will then face the you got the um you have the I can't even think of it now. The conference title game. There we go.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah,
the crossover games between the East Division and the West Division will take place over the next few days. Of course, the championship game will take place at Northville and aligns with the All League night, as of course, as Brian Smolsky, the commissioner of basketball for the KLAA and AD at Northville, for boys and girls. Yeah, it's but going up against a tough Wayne Memorial team, that's the team you're
yeah,
going up against. We know how good that East Division is.
yeah.
What's it going to be like to take to come away with but what do you want to see out of that game, because who knows what could possibly happen in this one.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, Wayne is very talented. I got a chance to watch a little bit of him over the past couple days. I mean, super talented. Carlos and Jalen Allen are just, I mean, dynamic players. They're two of the best players in the state, let alone the league. So we're going to have our hands full there. And then they have Austin Torrey too, who's a, dynamic player in his own right. And then they have a bunch of other guys who do their own thing, and they chip in and they help. So they're the number 8 team in the state for a reason. They're super talented, and we're going to go in and as far as what we're looking for, I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything braggadocious here, but we're looking to win. I mean, our goal is to go out and compete and come away with a victory. It's going to be very tough because, like I said, they're very good, and they have a lot of guys who are very dynamic players. But we just got to go in and not be ready to play, and we got to follow our game plan, and hopefully we can pull it out. And we'll see you on Friday night.
All right, Chris Housey, thank you so much. Congratulations on winning the KLAA West, and we'll talk to you later on in the year.
All right, thanks, Case. Appreciate it.